So a group of Democratic lawmakers today from Illinois visiting this naval base north of Chicago that could become a new launch pad for federal troops of some kind if they end up being deployed to the city. Just yesterday, the Pentagon said the base could be used for an ICE operation in Chicago, which Congressman Brad Schneider spoke out against. Take a look.
We don't want dangerous criminals on our street. Everyone agrees we should take dangerous criminals off of our street. But we don't want ICE arresting random people, oftentimes including citizens, and deporting them, separating parents from children. This is not who we are as a nation.
Now another Democratic congressman from the state of Illinois joining us live, Congressman Jonathan Jackson. Welcome, Congressman. Good to have you on. If this happens, you know what I mean? Like, what's the reaction? And when I say this, say it's not the National Guard. The president seems to be hinting at maybe increased immigration enforcement, ICE and the like. How do you react?
Well, it's not helpful if the president has a sincere spirit of helping us to combat a surge in violent crime. It'd be in coordination with our governor, county board president, with our mayor. It would add on to the successful efforts that are taking place now as the numbers are going in the right direction, and not to make it chaotic. Like, who's in charge? Is it the military? Is it the sheriff? Is it the coordinating police? And to have this sort of intruding invasion, if you will, of armed, long-barreled armed forces on our streets is very frightening. I first saw one of the military personnel in Washington, D.C. this past weekend when we went back in session, and to see these men and women with long-barreled rifles made my heart skip a beat. So it's frightening for many. Now, having said that, one life lost is too many.
Let me ask you something. Let me show the numbers. We've shown them a number of times because you brought it up on crime statistics. We have them on a tablet in front of me. And you're right that the year-over-year figures, which we've pointed out, are down all across the board here. Murders, shootings, robberies, so on and so forth. And then you get incidents where, or first of all, you get a couple things. People say that the raw figures are still too high. And then, like, you know, Labor Day, you had a lot of violence, as indicated here in Chicago. You said that the efforts now are successful. Do you really think they've been successful, or it's just the right direction? Isn't there much more work to do, Congressman?
There's much more work to do, and I stand corrected. One life lost is one life too many. For our listening audience, there's not one gun shop in the city of Chicago. There's not one gun range. No African Americans manufacture any ammunition anywhere in the world. Where are these guns coming from? They're coming from loopholes that are happening in Wisconsin and happening in Indiana and coming up from Arkansas and Mississippi. Help us stop the scourge of these guns coming onto our streets. Children cannot legally buy a gun. How do guns get in the hand of children? We need to have a coordinated federal effort to stop the gun smugglers and gun runners from bringing guns into our city. Is
there a way that the federal government can work with you to do that? In other words, if you don't want federal troops, is there an alternative? What would you propose as the final thing?
Well, it starts with a conversation. I would ask the president respectfully, convene a summit of all the different law enforcement agencies, convene a summit with the gun manufacturers, convene a summit with the municipal leaders, with our mayor, Brandon Johnson, and others, and ask them the question. Don't talk down to them. Don't talk over them, around them, through them. Have a conversation and talk with them. They would be more than happy to come to Washington, host him here in Chicago, bring all the interested parties, talk with the professors, people that have studied this from an epidemiological point of view, that look at the nature of crime and this violence. People are the same everywhere you go. So why not have the conversation? But to activate the armed services on our citizens, on our soil. They are not detectives. They don't solve crime in that. They will have a effect for a very short period of time, but who's going to pay the cost? This is running in Washington, D.C., $1 million a day. Ask our mayor, ask our governor, what could they do with $1 million a day more from the federal government to help combat crime?
Congressman Jackson, thank you, sir. Thanks for coming on. We'll keep the conversation going.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.